welcome to NFL Total Access. I'm Patrick Claybon, and I do not mind being your second favorite Patrick on the show today, because we begin with a very special guest. It's former league and Super Bowl MVP and a man whose Chiefs came up just short of going back-to-back getting Lombardis earlier this year. Second-team All-Pro, All-World quarterback Patrick Mahomes joining us now. And welcome in now, the Super Bowl winning championship quarterback, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, joining us from the American Century Championship Golf Tournament. Patrick, saw some tweets, saw some video. How's the golf game looking right now?
The golf game's looking manageable, I'll say that. We're out here having a great time, hoping to have a couple birdies here and there, but for the most part, we're just here to enjoy it.
Manageable works. You get paired up with pros like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers did. What were your thoughts on the match?
The match was really cool to watch, honestly. To see those guys and they play golf with pros like that, it's always a fun watch. And I thought they played well. They hit a lot of great golf shots, and I have to get out to that golf course in Montana because they were hitting balls like 400 yards, and I'm all about that.
So we were able to watch, which means you were able to listen, which means you heard the conversation regarding Aaron Rodgers and his future. So based on that, who do you think is going to be starting for the Packers when you play them coming up this season?
I mean, you never know. I think that's the great thing about the NFL is, with injuries and with guys changing different teams or guys being at the same spot, you never know what you're going to get every week. We play them a little bit later in the season, so we'll see. I mean, it's a tricky situation they have going there, but it's a great franchise and a great football player, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day.
In terms of your situation, the toe surgery, how are you feeling? Obviously, good enough for golf, good enough for football?
Oh, yeah. The toe's feeling great. I'm out here playing golf, being able to walk around the course. I've been running, cutting, jumping, throwing, doing it all. So I'm just excited to get back to training camp and have another chance to make a run at it and try to win the Super Bowl this year.
In terms of that run, you've been able to experience it coming off of a win, now a Super Bowl loss. How different is an offseason like this?
It's different in the sense that you don't have the parades and all that different type of stuff. But I think the beautiful thing about the NFL is every single year you start from scratch. You have to come in, you have to put in the work to try to get to the big game and try to win it. And so for us, win or lose that Super Bowl the last 2 years, we still have that same mentality of we're going to start from scratch and build and try to find a way to get back to that game.
And so, in terms of getting back to the game, there's so much change, Patrick. Obviously, there's the pandemic. LDT comes back after trying to serve and help people. He'll be up in front of you now. Orlando Brown comes over in the trade. So much change up front. In terms of your communication with Brett Veach and Andy Reid in the offseason, how has your reaction been to all of these moves?
I think it's been a great offseason. We've brought in a lot of great guys that love to compete and that love to play football. And so for us, we have depth at every position, and we're going to go out there and compete every single day. And that's what breeds the excellence. That's what breeds greatness is a competition every single day. And I think Coach Reid and Brett Veach have done a great job of that. And so
breeding excellence, trying to get better every day. You've become a part owner of the Kansas City Royals. You've become a father. A lot's changed for you personally. What's the next thing that Patrick Mahomes is trying to do besides all of the football stuff that we pay so much attention to?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to continue to learn, to continue to get more knowledge, and continue to meet a lot of great people. Luckily enough, I'm out here with a lot of great athletes and great people out here at American Century Championship. I'm out here chilling with my friends at Coors Light, and we're going to have a great time just today, and then we'll see what the future holds.
In terms of a great time, Patrick, Travis Kelce had some things to say about your golf game. He has a lot of things to say. What do you have to say about Travis Kelce and his golf game?
Travis Kelce's golf game is probably one of the most fun watches that you'll ever see. I mean, he's going to hit the ball 400 yards. You just never know if it's going to be straight. It might be in 3 fairways away. So if you're looking for a fun watch, make sure you watch him play.
Yeah, make sure to watch him as well. Watch his ball because it might be coming for you. The Super Bowl champion, MVP, Patrick Mahomes, thanks for joining us on Total Access today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So he's accomplished quite a bit. 37-8 as a starter, more yards per game and passing touchdowns than anyone since 2018. His awards case rapidly filling up. But with all of those things come other things. Warm TA welcome to Steve Weish, former Chief, Brandon Flowers, and our Tom Pelissero. Guys, he says the toe is good, so that's great. That's an internal thing. What about the external things that might prevent a third trip to the Super Bowl? What about the expectations, all the pressure, Brandon? Is it too much?
It's definitely going to be pressure. Is it unfair pressure? Yes, because of his greatness. We often look at Patrick Mahomes as a LeBron James just because of his greatness. If you look at his resume, he goes from MVP to a Super Bowl win to a Super Bowl loss. Almost like how LeBron James swept the Eastern Conference and he always ended up in the championship. That's what we expect out of Patrick Mahomes right now. He was banged up last year and still led his team there. So anything short of a Super Bowl right now, because I think the window is still open in the AFC with other teams gaining ground on him, the pressure is definitely there for him to go and try to hold that Lombardi trophy up one more time.
Yeah, look, Brandon, those are all really good points, but the pressure shouldn't all be on Patrick Mahomes because of the excellence. I mean, look at what the AFC is now. I mean, think about Tom Brady and all those years when the Patriots ruled. They didn't have to do much in the division. That was a terrible division in the AFC East. Now Patrick Mahomes has the Chargers on the come up. Then you've got teams like the Bills, like the Titans, like the Browns, like the Ravens. There seem to be so many teams now in the AFC who are coming for the Chiefs, and Kansas City plays most of them in the regular season. So I think when we're talking about pressure, the competitive pressure from some of the uptick on some of the other teams in the AFC is what's going to be the most challenging thing for the Chiefs, because as they already know after 2 years of going through it, they're not getting anybody's B game. They're taking everybody's best shot. The thing is, everybody's best shot, those teams are much better now.
Guys, what more do we want from Patrick Mahomes? He could never go to a Super Bowl again, and he would still have Hall of Fame credentials. He's been a starter for 3 seasons. Brandon laid it out. He has won an NFL MVP. He has won a Super Bowl MVP and, of course, won that championship. Been back to another Super Bowl, which, oh, yeah, if he weren't banged up and didn't have a depleted offensive line, he might well have won that one, too. Nobody's won more games. Nobody's thrown more touchdown passes. And Patrick Mahomes is 25 years old, which, by the way, the same age Aaron Rodgers was when he was in his first season as the Packers starter. These conversations about pressure almost remind me, and the bar set, of Bill Belichick, who hasn't won a Coach of the Year award, hasn't really even gotten many votes over the past decade, no matter how many Super Bowls he wins. It's not fun for the media members who cast those votes to just vote for the best guy every year. Patrick Mahomes, for the foreseeable future, may well be the best player in the NFL year in and year out. And that's not a slight at Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson or anybody else. If anything, though, with Patrick Mahomes, we take the greatness for granted.
And maybe that it's the slight to the conversation itself, Tom. If you look at, does the pressure matter, Brandon? Having heard Steve's arguments and Tom's arguments, do you think the pressure will actually influence the way Patrick Mahomes plays one way or the other?
It's definitely not going to influence the way he plays, because he's a guy that stands everything in the face. He's been down in the playoffs. He's came back from 20+, so he's going to play ball. I just hope his team be there to back him when he goes on this run.
And maybe everybody else could fairly contextualize what happens and how that one player, despite how good he is, can't do everything on the football field. That is a look at Patrick Mahomes. We got to look at his teammate coming up. Travis Kelce on pace to break every tight end record in the books. He's Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. He's one of the deans of tight end U. He may be a long shot to win that golf tournament in Tahoe, but he's a